Morning. Look how well these are doing. These are my 4 o'clocks. I call them 6 o'clocks though, because they open up not till 6 o'clock at night. I've had these a long time. In some older videos, I know for a fact that I showed you how I harvest them. There's seeds. I don't know if you can see it very good, but they usually fall down. See, like there's a couple right here. I usually pick the seeds up and then save them for next year, and then I just replant these because they're so sensitive to the cold. Let me see if I can see any good seeds like inside here. There's a seed. But I don't sit here and pick those like that. I usually wait till they fall on the ground, or you can also go like this. And that's what I usually do. I usually shake the bush and then scoop up the seeds, let them dry a little bit. Outside, I have a bucket, which now that I have a big handful of these, they're really easy to spot. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Went and got my container that I collect them in, and I just let them dry out in this container. Try not to leave this container outside too much because I forget about it, and it's been knocked over a bunch of times the last couple of years when I do that. I've done it like repetitively, and because I'm like doing over here, and then I get sidetracked, and then the wind will knock it over, or bruise, or something will happen, and then I'm picking seeds all up again. So I'm trying not. This year I haven't done it so far. I'm trying to keep that momentum going, but I mostly am this year. I'm interested in the yellow, but there's like not a lot, so I'm just gonna let it go. Usually when there's like a frost, it instantly dies. And the first year that I planted it here, I did when you go back to my old videos, it formed a gigantic heart. It was so cute the way that it grew. But anyway, usually like the first frost, it'll freeze. It's a late starter. Like the first thing in my yard that blooms is my giant purple irises. First thing. And one of the things that I just recently have been meditating on in the garden is that having something that blooms at a different time. Like this blooms kind of in August, September, but it also will die at the very end of September. Like every morning when I come out here, I look, I'm surprised because the temperatures have been dropping down to the 30s. And one night it was like 29, and I didn't know it was going to do that, and I didn't cover anything, and I lost quite a bit of stuff. And I'm shocked that this was not one of them. So maybe with me growing and getting the seeds growing and getting the seeds growing, and maybe it's slowly acclimating this, which I didn't understand why it did that to begin with, because I originally got these original seeds from Medford, Oregon, and it snows there too. And it's hot in the summertime. But when I was first growing it here, it was slightly different. I wonder what kind of bug does that circle thingy. I've seen that on a couple of my sunflower things. I wonder what bug does that. It's like not a lot. Like I've only seen it maybe 3 separate times, but it's still interesting. And then these I can tell are starting to turn a little purple. What? Who tied my stuff in a knot? What is happening? Ah, that smells like tremor. But these I'm super excited about because these I'm gonna plant in a straight patch, like maybe 2 lines. I don't know. It's gonna be really funny when I do it though. And then I'm gonna keep them shaved, the bottom halves, because I love that. Which these are 4 foot. This one back here is 5 foot. This one's a little less than 4 foot. This one's getting down. Like, they would stand up more if I would trim them off, but I'm kind of letting these ones go. This one's my tallest one, maybe, and it's probably like 5'4". But then they're supposed to get up to 6 feet, but I wasn't like really doing much with these. I wasn't giving them that much of attention. I was just kind of letting my dog use them for shade. Just because normally I wouldn't let anything grow out in this gravel like this. This is usually where I have my lawn chair. Like right there, and then an umbrella, and then a lawn chair. But this year, because this grew here, and because I was kind of like playing over here a little bit, trying to, because I kind of want to make this spot, because it's really nice in the morning, and in the afternoon it's all shady. And so I was trying to do like, plus I play golf, I could put my drink down over there, but I had the wasp problem. This somewhat worked. It's kind of pathetic. I killed 11 nests, and that's all this thing caught. And I gave this thing a week head start. It was ridiculous. See, that nest up there is... I have to have somebody get up there and knock it down. There's nothing in it. It's been dead. But, and all along this thing, see, there's a nest down there. There's actually a couple more that you can't see. They're like really small, round ones. But, look at my marigolds. These ones did so good, which I don't know why, because my other ones did not do good. This is in the shade more, so maybe because it was in the shade, it can handle being colder. I don't know. And then those are those zinnias. And I'm really surprised that the zinnias didn't all wilt up too, because they get a little bit cold and then they're toasty. Toasty, toasty, toasty. They're gone. I really like these poppies growing in here, which I'm just going to let them grow wild. I'm going to have to watch that bachelor button, because they get crazy. And I don't want to... The only tall stuff I want in here are the succulents in the corners and the 2 daisies. And this is fine. Nothing taller than this. And see how the bachelor buttons are taller. I want the bachelor buttons over there. And I think I'm going to intermix them a little bit with my irises, just to give some more color. I've been covering the fig tree at night. I'm surprised that first night that it didn't come out looking terrible. I'll show you what I mean by looking terrible. See some of my sunflowers? How they're... Let me get over here. See how bad they look? But the good news is that... Look at those seeds. So I have a shot definitely on that one. That's why I ended up not cutting this head off after that deer ate it, because I wanted to see if there was a chance that I could get seeds off of it. And there is, and these are still good. I've been covering them after that first night that I didn't. I don't think those tomatoes are going to do anything. I am the worst tomato grower ever. But I didn't buy those tomatoes, and I didn't grow those from seeds. It was a gift from one of my neighbors. She gave me 2 tomato plants, and I don't have dirt. So I had to go dig a hole and throw dirt. So the tomato plants might not like my soil. You know, that could be why. And I'm just, like, if I can't grow it in, like this, I can't. That's what I can afford. So this is doing super good. I'm going to start the pink. I could deadhead those earlier than the white and the orange, which I think is weird because the pink is older. I don't know. But I'm going to keep the white and the orange. I'm going to deadhead it and sprinkle them further down there. I have lots of pink, and I have a feeling that all those back there and most of all those little things might be pink. I'm hoping for that red, but I'm not going to know this year. So next year, like, definitely that one's going to bloom next year. And this one. And maybe a couple of these. I might have to thin it out because I don't want my orange and my white to get buried. But my orange and white should be huge by then. So we'll see. Pretty much on the corn, I didn't really get, like, this one. Like, they're so small. There's just no way. So this kind of corn I'm not going to try next year. I'm going to go with this one, which is what I had last year. Because see how that one's a lot bigger? I mean, this has been growing for such a long time. I think the spot wasn't good, which is fine. Because I'm planning to make it that anyway. But I was thinking of trying to smuggle in a peat or that nectarine seed right where this corn is. Then I would have an apple tree, the nectarine tree. I'm just worried about it not having enough space. And then a plum tree, and then an apple tree. I'm just worried about it not, because I want them to get big and branch out. And I know that the apple trees I'm going to have to trim regularly so that it doesn't overpower my plum tree. But the reason why I want another peach tree is, or the nectarine tree, is because if I have a plum and a nectarine, it'll make the apple trees produce sweet apples, less sour and more sweet. So I really want to do that. Or I could put the nectarine, apple. I could do like the nectarine somewhere right here. And then it's 4 in a row. And then not do sunflowers. I'm not going to do sunflowers in this chunk next year. Next year, I've been really thinking about it because my friend Nancy's got to come get, she sold her car, so the guy's got to come get it. But he just hasn't come get it yet. Dr. V, if you're watching this, come get the car. But I'm thinking, see, I just want to throw sunflowers and just fill this whole chunk. Just 1 year. Because this is going to be my driveway. And I was just thinking if I could just plant a ton of sunflowers and just let the sunflowers suck, everything out of the ground right here. Pretty much was nothing. But then when I would pull up the stalks, it would till all this and it would bury a lot of my rock. So I guess that's not a good idea. But maybe right here. Just plant. I gotta weed all that. And just plant massive sunflowers right here. Maybe do like 2 rows so that I have a whole, because Serenity wants the one where you walk through the sunflower forest. This year she didn't like the forest as much because it wasn't on both sides. It wasn't like it was only one side that she could walk through instead of it being on both sides. So I think what I'll do is just do a row and then a row and then have a small pathway in the middle of it so that she has her sunflower forest. And then my irises will look 100% better. I'm going to try to cover this with cardboard and whatnot. Try to keep all this so that it could be worked next year. I was going to do sunflowers right here next year. But Krish is like really getting into the garden and wants more and more vegetables and stuff. So I think I'm going to do corn. Not a lot of corn because she's crazy. This is a lot of, you know, she works. So there's like only so much time she can dedicate. Oh no, I forgot to cover the squash. Do you see what I mean by it getting cold? Oh no. Oh man, it's like hard as a rock. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come out and deadhead everything that's bad. And then I'm just going to put a plastic container over here and cover them in a plastic container. Wow. Look at that. Well, that just looks like... But look, there's a couple things on there. That's what I'm talking about. And that tomato plant never did good, so. And I mean, it was a bad spot to put it, but it was too late after I put it there. And then see, I deadheaded all this stuff because it was massive. And then I just cover this with a comforter at night. And I'm just going to have to keep doing it. That's why I want to keep my patches fairly small. I'm going to leave this cut plastic cover on this. Because I also cut off the bad leaves on that. Not all of them, but... Oh, wait. But if I cover it, then the bees can't get to it. I don't even... I think the problem with where was where I planted this. Because I didn't know what I was doing. And I thought this was going to be strawberries at the time. And then the California poppies overtook this. But next year, I'm not going to let that happen. This is just going to be strawberries. I'm going to go back to my original 100% plan that I wanted to begin with. I wanted this to be a covered wagon with strawberries in it. And I didn't even paint the metal thing because I was, I don't know. But that's what I want, and that's what I've imagined for a long time. So that's what needs to happen. And I need to put my wheels. I have 2 wheels that my other son-in-law, Jesse, got me. They're right there. I don't even know where my fingers are. They're over here. But they're purple because he got them from somebody, and they had painted them purple, and they looked terrible. So I was like hoping that the paint would just like start chipping off and then I could just, but the weather isn't making it chip off at all. So I'm going to have to get some paint thinner or something to try to get it off because I want that rusty. Whoever had them painted in purple. Stop walking through my irises, Brucifer. Seriously? They must have painted them so that they didn't like the rust. But things don't rust out here very fast at all. You have to bring the rust here for it to continue to rust. So I like that rusty look, so that kind of bums me. See what I mean by these ones didn't do as well. Look at all the ones that I have to deadhead. That's insane. I like doing it slowly, like 30, 40 a day was doing good. But this, I mean, I'm going to wait till it gets more crusty. And then, you know. But this one did fantastic. So everything here likes it, whether it's hot or cold, which is good. And then this, the mum took a hit, the pink mum. But that's okay because I transplanted her here, so she's had like a rough year. So I'm just going to let it go. And I'm going to put these stands that I have, this stand that I have in here, I'll put that over it and then put one over this one. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that with that one. I'll have to find something taller. That's supposed to be white. It never bloomed white. But I've had this one indoor all for a year because I planted one outside and it died. So, but I had broke a branch off of it and just stuck it in dirt in my houseplant, and it grew. So then when I transplanted out here in the spring, so I'm going to try to think of something to kind of cover it a little bit. Not too much because I want it to get some of the hard of the, you know, and then, but at the same time, protect it a little bit. This will be chopped back down to the ground. And those I'm going to spread. See, there are still bees working. These are still working. Oh, there's another friend. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know. Those are different color. I swear I have so many different color bees. And then that, okay, so where was I at? Yeah, that lily right there, I'm going to maybe deadhead because it's not liking it. I had to pull out the cucumbers because those all pretty much died, but this one right here, which I don't think is going to do well. This one didn't take too bad of a hit. I chopped off the bad leaves. The green onions, they don't care. And then this, I want to cut some of this stuff out. I was just letting it, because see, these are what the seeds are. So pretty much I just want to pick these, a bunch of these, and walk on the outside of my fence all the way around. And the reason why is because this is what brings the bees. And I can mow, because see, I've got to mow again, but I can mow this in the spring, and then this will grow up after that. And it will pretty much choke out the rest of the weeds. And then at the end of the season, after probably like around October, you can go and mow it all again. And it's no big deal. And then the following year, you mow in the spring, mow in the fall. Because see, nothing really grows. It just grows in clusters like that. But this stuff will get tall and block out the sun, and all that stuff will not grow. You'll just have this stuff all the way around your fence line in the pretty much mid-spring, summer, and part of the fall. And then halfway through the fall, you can just go out and mow, and it's no big deal. And it brings in all the pollinators. Another lady in town said that they were amazed at how many butterflies that they saw this year. And I was like, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I didn't think there was very many, but the prior year I maybe saw like 3. And this year I probably saw 15, 20, which, wow, that's a lot compared to the you know, time before when I was chasing them all over my yard because there's just so few of them. And so she noticed it too. And the last year I didn't have near as many bees. This year I've had 1,000,000. I killed 11 wasp nests. I let them go for a really long time, but when I started seeing them get aggressive with the other bugs, then I was like, they're starting to get aggressive. So it must be a certain time of year that they get aggressive. And that's when I went around. I got this spray at Ace Hardware. It's like two cans for $7. And I killed 11 wasp nests with probably 1.5 cans. I still have like a little bit left. So, oh, and then I trimmed up this thing, because look at them pumpkins all of a sudden. Crazy. You don't have to cover the carrots. Carrots do good, but there's those pumpkins back there are looking good. And that's celery. Oh, I didn't cover the lemongrass, but I do want to trim the lemongrass up again. And I have a container I'm going to put over it for the winter that has a hole in it. And then I had to not trim nothing. So this handled the cold really well. And I think it's because this arch casts a shadow and it keeps this area cooler. And I think that it must mean that it does better. So this would be a good place for me next year to plant marigolds, because the marigolds in the shade do far better than the ones that were directly in the sun. I'm still going to plant some directly in the sun, but this would be a good spot for me to plant a marigold thing, because then because I'm going to plant peas coming up like that. So there won't be anything really down here, but I could do this next year could be a marigold bed so that I can continue to plant marigolds every year and get their seeds. And then that maybe I could do something that likes a lot of sun and that has a shorter growing season. Like that would be a good spot to do, like, that would be the best spot to do like cucumbers or whatever. No, because I'm doing cucumbers here. I might move that then and do cucumbers over there in the middle. That sucks. I don't know. I still haven't finished working on this. I'm not actually going to put this up this year. This is just... Oh, my stick. Okay, that was the stick that I got like a while ago, but then I built this big stack. Oh. Okay, so back here in this line, because I have not found a centerpiece or something that I wanted back here. So I have this stick now that I can plant into the ground and then see how it has arms everywhere. And then I have this one that's all twisty. Okay, that has the arms, so I could do like a chunk and then do like an end chunk. And then I was thinking, or actually, I was thinking I want one of those in the middle somehow. But, oops, there's this one. This is from juniper trees. See how like I was going to build like this crazy fence, then it was going to hang on an arm. Like, you know, like I did that video of the twisted fence. And then I have this other piece, a Y. This Y I figured could hold up this heavier piece because those are more brittle. And then it go, you know, like down this line right here. That's what I plan to do. It'll be like this dead juniper, twisted back fence looking thing, which I think would be really cool, because then I have the different pieces of driftwood, then the juniper, like all these different kinds of wood. And I kind of still like this. But I need to do it different. I found this. This, I think, came from a headboard, but it washed up on the beach. But it must have been like a headboard or something. Because it has that weird, or maybe like, I don't know, back of a dresser or something. I don't know, weird. But I think I should find more flatter, or find one crazy flatter piece like the next time I go to the beach. And I have one. See, there's this one. It's like a small plank, but I don't know where it's at. But I have a big, oh, it's way back here. But that's not big enough. I need something longer than this that can go across that. And I think that would be really good. But when I picked this up, I couldn't think of what I wanted to use this for other than like a signpost, which is what it's going to end up being. You know, something like that. But now, next time I go to the beach, I'll know to look for something longer. You know, I don't know. Alright, I know that this video is super, super long, but this is what I figured out when it comes to uploading videos. I thought, man, maybe it's my internet connection, blah, 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 but it can't be, because you see that? Let me find my finger. Right there? That's the tower. That is our internet. That green cream building between the white that has the green metal on top of it with the tower. Yeah, that is CenturyLink, which is our Wi-Fi. So, it's not my internet. That's how I know it's not the internet, because everything else works. What it is I figured this out yesterday because another creator made some weird comment, and I don't even remember who it was, because I don't know, because I watched so many, or what he was even talking about. I don't know. I wasn't really watching him. It's in the background. I pick something and it plays. And he said something about, it depends on how many people are uploading videos or using the servers and blah, 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 blah. Something to that effect or whatever. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, I had thought that at one time. Not that I dismissed it. It was just another thing that I had added into my brain that I didn't need. But I thought about that one time because sometimes when I'm uploading, it's so fast and there's like nothing on YouTube. And I'm like, man, I'll just upload a video or try to upload a video or whatever, because there's really nothing to play. And it goes really fast. And then I'm like all surprised going, oh my gosh. But that still doesn't explain though, when I tried to do, what do you call it? Where everybody's just watching. I forget what it's called. Darn it. I already forgot what it's called. Look how pink those flowers are. Live stream. Oh, that's yellow. That yellow is so pretty. When I tried to live stream, I can't. Like, all of a sudden, I have no connection. I'm like, what is happening? What's happening, Bruce? What's happening? I need to pull all those out. I need to cut all that stuff off and pull all that out. I'm still going to leave my trees for as long as I can. I mean, I gotta trim them. I need to cut a bunch of sunflower heads. I need to get my son out here and look at that. The birds are just going to town. Look at that one. It's eating out on the right. I've cut some. But Like this sunflower, I don't know. It's weird looking. I don't foresee that producing any seeds, but I don't know. It was the same thing, but who knows? I don't know. I'm going to let that go. Weird. Weird. Look at that one. It looks like minions. It looks like a cluster of minions. That's nutty. There's a lot of bees up there. Yeah, see, the head needs cut off of that. And look at these. Usually when I go through and cut the heads off, I go along. I use these ones over here for bouquets to give to people. And I could probably do 2 bouquets right now. That way I can cut them long stem bouquets, but smaller flowers. And then usually I'll throw in like a chunky one like this arm, but not a curved one like that. Like usually I'll like deadhead like this side and then do one long. So they have one gigantic thick stalk and then a bunch of these tiny. I don't use these unless I do like a vase for myself, because I know how big my vases are. But some people have really big vases. Really big, deep vases. And I just have a couple smaller, shorter vases because I don't like to cut my flowers. I usually only throw it in a vase if I accidentally did cut it. Because I enjoy them out here. I love them out here. These pink poppies are going to do really well. I've got a watch. That is so weird. Look, it's got the pink and the blue bachelor button. I didn't realize that it was going to be different. Oh, well, wait a second. That is a flower bomb from the dollar store. So I did put a flower bomb over here. So that makes sense. But I'll just keep my eye on those. And I'll pluck those up when they die. See, like you can literally go like this. And that's seeds. These are all seeds. They just pop right off. Oh, that's nothing. Here's one. Just pull that. Ew. A loud honeybee and a wasp. Jeez. He's a loud one. Okay, anyway, so then what I do with that, with this stuff, that's it. That's how I built this flower bed. I did not dig into the ground. I did not plant anything. I just threw. This was the corn last year. That's what's awesome about my videos. Is if I wanted to go back, I know exactly what was in each bed before, because I knew this was a temporary bed. So I threw temporary things here constantly, because I wasn't ready for it yet. Like when I started my garden, I didn't come out and say, oh, I want it this big, and then just did it that big. No, I did it one bed at a time until I didn't have any more time at the end of the season. So when I started out, I only had this bed, the heart bed, Puka Lane, and this bed. That was it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had like 5.5 beds because the peanut gallery down here didn't have anything in it, because I had planted peanuts in it, thinking peanuts would grow, but that didn't happen. And it was shaped like this. And then the following year, I added this bed. And I used to have that white chest right here. And I had only really planted the echinacea and it was echinacea, tulips, and asparagus. And the tulips didn't grow. The only thing that grew was the echinacea and the asparagus. This year I put all this stuff in here. And then when I added this bed, I added this long bed. And then back there, I didn't do anything other than like run through it because it's really floofy dirt. And I love to run through it barefoot. And I haven't found any glass or metal back here like I do when I was cleaning these beds. So that is, and now I've been doing that for like 2 or 3 years now. Oh, look at that big old bee. That's such a pretty, that's called a Mexican sunset. That sunflower right there. There's, that one. That one's technically a part chocolate and a part Mexican. See that red velvet back there? That really deep orange or deep reddish looking one? That's a red velvet. This is a cross between the standard sunflower, which is that sunflower right there. That's the original. The original. They grew like big old trees. And with many, many, many arms. And then it looks like it's crossed with like a red velvet. There's a lot of cross because look, you know, like this amount of bees. Look at that bee. You going to town. There's lemons down here. Oh, and this one's an Italian white. I can see that right there. These ones are Italian whites. Oh, look at that one. Back in there. That color is pretty cool. This is a lemon. Right here. There's just like a lot of crossing, so it's really hard to see what they were when I let them go crazy like that. So it'll be interesting. Look at that one. That looks like it's a cross between an Italian white and a red velvet. Which I would not be surprised because I planted those together last year. And then harvested them. So I bet you that that's what that is. Ugh, my arm is getting really tired. Like this one looks like it's a cross between a Mexican sunset and a chocolate. Or, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Because they're starting to get so many colors. There's a really nice red velvet tucked up in there. I wonder how many sunflowers grow wherever the birds carry them around town. Because I let them pick. I need to cut this one down. I have to go find my hacksaw. See, look at that. I need to cut it down, pull it out, and deadhead it. I don't have a box. I need a box because my friend's going to let me throw sunflowers over at her place. And when I cut it, because I'm not going to harvest every single one of these. I just harvest the ones that I think are really cool. Like the one right up by my door right there, my showcaser. I've harvested a lot off of her already. That's why I've been letting the birds just kind of have fun. And then I'm going to get this one right here. I want that one. This one. And I'll take this one too because that one gives a nice solid yellow. But see, I leave it out here in these containers and just come out and stir it. So I already had those 2 containers full. I'm working on this stuff. And clearly I can't plant all of that. So, like a lot of it. Oh, here's another lemon. This one's a cute little one. Usually lemons are about 6 feet tall and a little bit bigger. My lemons have, that's the hardest sunflower I've had to grow. These gigantic ones are Russian mammoths. These big ones, that was a regular Russian mammoth. This one is a Russian mammoth with the old standard. I went, and I'm glad to see that because it looks like it's going back to what it was originally. Except for the dark center. That's a weird growing one too. And then this one's a Russian mammoth with, and you can see that that center one up here, that is the Russian mammoth, the centerpiece, that big one right there. And then all this other one, because it crossbred with something else. I'll probably keep this one because look how perfect that one is. And I'll probably take those, even though those will be really small seeds. I do take a lot of the colored because this year I didn't have a lot of solid yellow. See what I mean by, see the outer layer, the petals are yellow and the center is dark. Okay, see how a lot of them are that way. I've usually have, and then see how those are yellow in the center and yellow. See the difference between the two? Yeah, I need more of this. So I'll probably keep a lot off of this one to bring back. And then that back there is a really big one. So, and how you tell with those are the solid white seeds. Oh, wait, there's another busy bee. They'll have solid white seeds. But even back there, I just noticed that this year. So I'm just going to have to make sure that I plant more of a mix. Like really look at instead. Because, well, this year I did a video on how I planted. I literally walked and just sprinkled out of one of my buckets and threw it out. And that bucket did have a lot of smaller seeds because I was not going for a lot of the mammoths because it's really hard for me to get rid of those sunflower heads at the end of the season. They're really, really big and they're heavy. And like I said, I don't have any boxes right now to be cutting and throwing in a box. I have one box and I filled those paper bags right there are full of sunflower heads that I don't want. That I don't need. And all of this stuff, you know. Otherwise, if I didn't cut this all down and harvest it all, yeah, the birds would eat a lot of it, but a lot of it would drop down and I would have stuff growing where I don't want it to grow. And next year, I think I'm going to plant like a lot of marigolds right here. Like this whole line will be marigolds. And then I think I might put a sunflower every so many marigolds. And then in here, inside the fence, I think what I'm going to do is like a line, and then the back will be sunflowers, and then this won't be sunflowers. I think I'm going to smooth out and just level this and slowly take out this everything that's right here and get more gravel and just put in more gravel right here because I want to get like a back porch I want to create shade right here. And this was great when it worked, but now I want to take this out and just put gravel. And then eventually I want to put in a T-post, or like a post, and then a post that goes across. And I want to put I have two swinging chairs. Obviously this will not be here. But where I can sit out here in my swinging chair. And I will be able, like my view would be from like right here. I would be able to sit in my swinging chair and enjoy, you know, this part of my yard, or I'll be able to sit in this swinging chair and be able to see, you know, and of course, everything out there will be more different. I won't have all this stuff. I don't like next year. I've done sunflowers 2 years in a row right here. Originally, the first year I did gladiolas, and I loved it. And I just can't get the gladiolas to come back. So, maybe when I'm done with the sunflowers this year, maybe I'll really try to concentrate on something different. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking about growing some green peppers. I think that would be something fun to do. And my mom had this old, weird, I don't know, it's my mom's car right there. And there's that green thing. It's from a Datsun truck. It's like the bed of the Datsun truck. And then it has that camper shell thingy on it. We've been trying to figure out what to do with it. And I thought about selling it and stuff. And then I was like, well, you should never sell something unless you're really ready to sell it. Because then otherwise you regret it. But I was thinking, because I can't afford to move that stupid shed to right here like I want, I can have the boys pull that over here next spring. And then just lift the head, and then the tailgate comes down. And there's like a window thing that pops up. And what I could do is put, like on a tray, like on a piece of board or whatever, I could put like all my small pots that, you know, that I'm starting. And then I could just push it in there at night. Leave it in there all day, all night. I wouldn't be taking it in and out. But I could pull out the board a little bit if I needed to reach one. And just do the little tiny pots, and they could be like a nursery for right now. And then at nighttime, I could just shut the tailgate, shut the little window thingy, and it's fine. And the only reason why I was thinking about the tray thing is like to pull it out and to like drain it. So like if excess water or whatever from watering it doesn't just like leak inside that. I pull it out a little bit, you know, and then it somehow just leak it out onto the ground or whatever. I don't know. I was just thinking, I need to think about it more, because I don't really know how hot that it gets in there, which would probably be great for March and April, but May and June would be real sketchy. So those are just some thoughts that I had. All right, well, I'm going to end this because I don't even know how long it is, and I know, oh my goodness, it is an hour. A whole hour. Some of you guys will just have to break it up, or I don't know. But it felt good to come out here and talk to you guys for an hour. My socialization has been completed for the day. Normally I just go talk to my son for an hour, but let me tell you what, sometimes talking to him is just not healthy. Like last night, thinking he's all funny. Ooh, there's one right there that's white. And see, if you really, really look inside here, it'll have white seeds. So that one needs to be tagged. See, this is a part lemon and part something else. Look at that. It's a two-tone yellow. I need to do some photography pictures. There's just some really cool ones. I need to start taking some photos, because my season's almost over. Man, next year I can't wait though, because in my head I can see like all this. I'm still letting it go because it's still green on the outside. But I'm hoping that there's seeds that came from that I can spread, because that's the only one I've seen like that. That's the thing with the echinaceas, is it's a hit and miss. I'm shocked that the orange and the white came back. The pink, you're golden. Each one of them has different medical properties. Each color has a different medical property or whatever that they used back in the day for like medication. Super easy to transform that medication. But it does take 14 days. But it's easy. I guess you just take alcohol, like gin, whiskey, whatever. You put it in a mason jar. You cut a bunch of these heads off. Toss them in that mason jar. And in 14 days, you have a tincture. So you'd want to... Ooh, look at that one. You'd want to, like, start... How can I get in here? Darn it. I had to step on something. For beauty. What is happening here? Come on, people. Get out of here. Look at this one. That's gorgeous. That is definitely 100% sure a red velvet and an Italian white. But that's like a lighter version. And this other one is like a darker version. That's cool. Super cool. Super cool. I'm going to try to let that sunflower head go for as long as it can. Because I really want the seeds. What's this one doing? I got seeds in there too. So that's good news. I just don't like frost. Maybe I'll do my teddy bear sunflowers up there this year instead of these big ones. Ooh, maybe I'll do teddy bears with the marigolds. Like do a marigold, a teddy bear. Marigold, teddy bear. That would be cute. And see what happens when I harvest those. It makes me wonder sometimes if some of the color doesn't come from like maybe if my orange marigolds, all of a sudden I got orange teddy bears. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know if that's possible. But we'll see. I have to deadhead a lot of that. It sucks. But I definitely learned. Because I thought by putting this in the direct sunlight that it would help them stay warmer. But then I also put them over there in the direct shade. Like they get sprickets of sun. Like a sprinkler, they get like a sprinkler of sun. Randomly throughout the day. See, like you can see the sun that casts in here. And these did amazing. So, if you plant a direct sun, then they need that same warmth every day. If you plant in the shade, you have more fluctuation a little bit with temperature. Like you have to watch that it doesn't get too warm. So that's interesting. I could do cucumbers over here. I'm just afraid. I want them on my skis. And if I did it over here, I'm just afraid that like this is constantly in the shade. See, that's why nothing worked there. I planted stuff there. I have no idea what I planted because I can't remember. And I put those tags. And I'm going to show you that I did. Not lying. I put the tags. But the problem is, that one says cucumbers. I don't even know. Something about days. I don't know. Maybe that was May. 53 to 55 days. I don't know. And I even tape it as Scotch tape over the top of marker. And the sun still faded it. Look at this bee down here. Wait, he was right by my foot. Yeah, there he is. Oh, he fell. Did you see him fall? He fell out of there. That's so funny. Okay. Maybe that's going to be the title of my video. That bee fell out of the flower. The bee fell out of the flower. Then you have to watch the whole hour. Watch the whole hour. The bee fell out of the flower. I'll make it rhyme. Oh, I better go write that down because I'm going to remember that for all of 3.4 seconds. Wait. Watch the whole hour. The bee fell out of the flower. The little birds are just... See? Look at them. They're like, she's gone. We're sneaking in. Look how many. But I think it's cool because my daughter has 2 cats. And they like to sit in these windows over here. And they like to watch the birds. So it was pretty cool letting them have it. But I think I'm going to do the... What do you call those? Teddy bears. The bee fell out of... Watch the whole hour. The bee fell out of the flower. All right. I got to go or I'll never get it done.